Thank you all for being here. It's really beautiful to see you here and see your bright and shiny faces and bright and shiny eyes and trying something new. Maybe you haven't tried before, or returning to something that you love and has found a space of gratitude and transformation within your body. So thank you for being here. My name's January. I'll be your guide for our practice today. And we'll just make our way to begin with in a comfortable seated position. If you'd like to take your block, everybody should have blocks and straps and a ball. We may not use all of the props there, but if you'd like to take this block and just set it in between your back and the chair to add a little bit more upright spine as you lean back, and just find a place of comfort here as your feet are comfortable, knees and ankles aligned, and then just find a softness through the body, allowing the hands to float to the thighs, either palms down to ground or palms up to receive. Just allowing yourself to be welcome here in the space. Allow your eyes to float closed if you feel safe and comfortable, and just let your inner eyes, or your eyes, turn inward, in towards your body, in towards your breath. And without changing anything, just allowing your awareness of your breath to flow in and out of your body, the wind as it moves in across the nose, through the back of the throat, and out, just bringing that breath present for you. And taking a moment for a body scan, moving from the top of your head down to your toes. Just observing any place within you that needs a little extra support. Acknowledging the spaces within you that are feeling awesome today. And if there's anything IQ in class that doesn't work in your body, take any variation that does, or skip it altogether. This is your practice. Keep your body safe. Through class, I may offer some assists. If you'd rather not have me in your space, just give me a little wave here and I'll honor your privacy. Thank you. And allowing the awareness of your breath to move a little deeper in through the body. In a few moments, I'll guide us through 4 rounds of box breathing, where we'll inhale for a count of 4, we'll pause at the top for 4, we'll release for 4, and then hold at the bottom for 4. And softening the shoulders down and collectively taking one deep breath in through the nose, allowing the sides of the rib cage, the belly to expand outward. And exhaling through the mouth, allowing all that's left unsaid just to float away, anything that arose before class or anything that's planned after class, allowing it to float out. And we'll begin box breathing. Inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4. Release. 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. Release. 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause. 2 more rounds. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. Release. 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause. Last round, best round. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. And release. 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause. Allowing your breathing to return to its normal cadence, feeling calm, present, centered. Allowing your eyes to float open, we'll remove the block from beneath the backside and just setting it there onto the mat. And taking the feet a little bit wider than hip width distance apart. Not quite as wide, but just maybe towards the outside edges of the chairs. And then scooting towards the edge of the seat so that you have lots of mobility for the spine. We're going to do some seated cat-cows, allowing the hands to float down here towards the thighs, maybe even gently wrapping around the knees, whatever feels comfortable in your body. And inhale as you draw the sternum, the heart forward, tilting the tailbone back, squeezing the shoulder blades, lifting the gaze, tilting gently the neck, the eyes up towards the sky. Exhale, rounding and arching the back, tucking your tailbone under, tucking your chin towards your chest, seated cat pose. Inhale, drawing the heart space forward for cow. And exhale, finding your cat, arching and rounding your back. And a few more breaths in this movement at your own pace, using your breath as your guide, the wind flowing through your body, leading your way as you find your cats and your cows. Perhaps even adding a little organic movement in your body, tuning in what else you might need as you draw the heart forward, as you tuck the tail, tuck the chin. And a few more breaths as you tune into what is it that your body is needing, what your body is calling for, gently warming up the spine. And on your next inhale, moving back in towards neutrality, straight spine, lengthening through the obliques, shoulders fall down, dropping down and away. And we'll get moving, allowing the hands to float down towards the sides of the body. Inhale as you lift the arms up towards the sky. And exhale, we'll rotate towards the right, taking your right hand to the back of the chair or reaching for the back, left hand across to the right thigh, shoulders fall down away from the ears. Every opportunity to inhale lengthens the spine, imagining that I'm coming around and scraping the sides of your rib cage as your spine elongates on your inhale. And as you exhale, rotating, drawing that right shoulder back and open, broadening across the chest, leading with your heart space. Inhale, unwind, both hands reach back up towards the sky. And exhale, rotate towards your left. Once again, lengthening the spine on your inhales. Right hand connects to the outside of the left thigh. And drawing that left shoulder back, broadening across the chest, lengthening, twisting. And inhale, unwind, both hands reach once again towards the sky. We'll flow this one time in both directions. Exhale, rotate towards the right. Find that edge in your body where it's not too easy, not too hard. It takes you to a new awareness of yourself. Inhale as both hands reach, lift towards the sky. And last time, exhale to the left. Moving towards that edge, left shoulder peels back. Inhale, both hands reach up once again towards the sky. We'll take side bends. Exhale, right hand floats down, left arm reaches up, and then over. So we reach up and then over so that our obliques stay long, and we're opening up the intercostal muscles along the whole left side. So imagining you're bending over this beach ball, reaching for the top of the room where the wall meets the ceiling. So not collapsing, but lengthening. Left sits bones, left hip roots back down into the chair as you reach a little further. Deeper stretch here for one more inhale. Slow exhale. Inhale, both hands reach once again towards the sky. Exhale, left hand floats down, right arm up, and then over. Reaching for that space. Perhaps your gaze goes up under the right armpit. Inhale, releasing both hands back up towards the sky. We'll flow this twice on either side. Right hand flows down, left arm reaches. Gaze up underneath that left armpit, drawing the left shoulder in line with the right. Inhale, flow. Exhale, float. Inhale, lengthen towards the sky all the way up. Exhale, reach to the right. Inhale, rise. Exhale to the south. Inhale, lift both arms up. Exhale, cactus the arms. Squeeze the shoulder blades like you've got $1,000 tucked up in there. You don't want it to fall out. Inhale, reaching the arms out in front of you, all the way, crossing the left arm over the right, giving yourself a hug, letting the shoulders drop down away from the ears. We'll take this into a little forward bend. Inhale to lengthen the obliques, lengthen through the rib cage. Exhale, hinge forward, taking your elbows down towards the floor. A gentle curve of the spine if that feels safe. And inhale as you lift all the way back up, using the core strength, the muscles along the lower back, releasing your arms, finding that cactus once again. Squeeze the $1,000 tucked up in there. And inhale, reaching the arms, opposite left arm underneath the right, finding the hug. Shoulders float down away from the ears. Inhale, lengthen the obliques. Exhale, hinge forward, elbows drop down towards the ground. Inhale, unwind, releasing, finding that cactus once again. $1,000 tucked in. Don't let it fall out. Squeeze it in there. Put it into that imaginary bank. Offshore even. Inhale, come back to neutral, lifting the hands up towards the sky. Exhale, hands to heart center. Take this a little bit deeper, continuing our work into the spine, taking your blocks and placing them right in between the feet. They can be on any height setting, and taking the feet a little wider than your chair. So nice opportunity for a wide-legged seated forward fold. Again, these blocks can be high setting, medium setting, or low setting, or you may not even need them at all, but they're there for support always. And we'll be moving into a twist in this posture. So feet once again wide, toes out, heels in, stacking the knees over the ankles. So take a look down if you've got your knees tucked in or out like that. That's not good. Or even like this, you're not going to have the stability that you need to have for this posture. So stacking, arms floating to the sides. Inhale as you lift, fingers towards the sky. Exhale, hands to heart center, straight spine. Keep this transverse abdominis pulled in as you hinge forward. Take your hands down to those blocks. If you've got your hands on those blocks, adjusting it so that it feels comfortable in your body, whatever feels right for you. And making those micro adjustments, so finding that second phase of your yoga posture, whereas the edge is the first, the second phase is just moving into that gentle space of stillness. We're going to take this as a revolved twist, so taking one of the blocks or your hand, your left hand, right underneath your nose and planting your left hand onto the block or the ground. Inhale the right fingertips up towards the sky. Rooting down with your left hand, reaching the right fingers up, broadening across the shoulders, across the heart. High-fiving the wall over there in front of you. A nice T shape with your arms if you can. Inhale, lift the right fingers up a little further. Dynamic movement. Exhale, right fingers tap the left fingers. Inhale, right hand lifts back up towards the sky. Exhale, tap down. Inhale, rise. Exhale, tap. Inhale, lift. And exhale, take the right hand, switch places with the left hand. Inhale as the left fingers lift towards the sky. Exhale, float down, tap, dynamic movement. Inhale, lift. Exhale, tap. Inhale, reach for the stars. Exhale, bring them down to ground. Last lift, inhale. And exhale, both hands come back down towards the ground. And then we'll do a little bit more movement here, taking one hand to your thigh, the second hand to your thigh. Stay in this forward fold posture. And then we'll drop this left shoulder down, right shoulder peels back. Inhale, floating through the midline, and exhaling, right shoulder drops down, left shoulder peels back. Maybe you even gaze over the left shoulder. Flowing one more time, flowing, dropping the right shoulder in, left shoulder, gaze over the left side or right side. And inhale, last time, dropping to the other side. And inhale, floating back up, coming back to a neutral position. Heel toe the feet back together. So lifting the toes, lifting the heels so that you're activating the shins. And then when you get here, we'll just do a little taps. So you can lift the heels and lift the toes. It's activating the shins, activating the calves, causing your body to remember how to lift the feet as you start to walk up steps or up ramps. So just getting that mobility in the feet. It's like a clock in here. All right, we're going to tap the heels down and just lift the toes, activating the shins. You might feel them start to burn here in a few moments. Ooh, yep, getting the burning. And can you go a little faster? No, I can't either. Oh, for 3, 2, 1. Ah, lift the heels. Oh, let that go. Ooh, let the feet land back down. Getting a little bit more movement. Maybe you feel the feet starting to wake up. Ah. We're going to take this a little deeper, bringing one of your blocks, even both of your blocks out here. Get a little more stretching in before we stand up. And blocks are going to be out in front of you on the lowest setting. And then we'll extend the right foot and let the heel land onto that block. You might need to scoot a little bit towards the edge of the seat so the glutes are hanging on. You've got room for your hamstring. Left knee is going to be stacked right over the left ankle, so you've got some grounded stability here. Then we're going to take this as a seated half down dog. So arms floating to the sides. Inhale as you lift the hands up. And if you can flip your palms up towards the sky, lengthen through the obliques, draw your shoulders down, and then keep those obliques long, straight spine as you hinge from your hips forward. Flex the toes on your right foot, flex them back towards your nose. You'll feel that stretch along the whole back side of the leg. Micro bend in the knee as much as you need to protect your hamstrings. Don't lock the knee out. Now reaching the fingers and hands up towards the front of the room where the wall meets the ceiling. So you're pressing away with your hands, pressing towards that imaginary wall in front of you, and simultaneously extending the right heel out away from you. So you'll feel that stretch along the back side of the leg, toes flex back towards your nose. Keep reaching. Inhale, come back out of this. Exhale, hands float down to heart center and bring that right leg in. If you'd like to take a little movement here, letting it go. Being gentle with that leg, gentle with the knees. And then we'll take a half seated down dog on the other side, extending the left leg long. Heel connects there with the blocks. Toes are flexed, foot is flexed. Keeping the bend in the knee as much as you need to. You don't want to lock it out. Just keeping that bend so that you're honoring your body here. Hands float to the sides. Inhale as you lift the fingers up. You can flip the palms away from you. Straight spine, shoulders float back down. Hinge forward from the hips. Nice straight spine, pushing this imaginary wall away from you. Kind of up, like kind of in front of you where the wall meets the ceiling. Flexing the foot and sending the energy out the heel. So reaching the energy forward, reaching the palms forward, lengthening through the spine. Slow breath in, slow breath out. Inhale, release, back up out of this, and bring the hands back down to heart center. Bring that left leg in. All right, from here, we're gonna stand up. No, actually, we're gonna do a seated flow. So a seated warrior two flow. So activating those shins and calves, heel toe your way over to the right side. Whew, all the way over. And then taking your left leg and bringing it out towards the front of your chair. So you're going to have a nice V shape where the corner of the chair is at a V right in between the thighs. And then we'll move into a seated warrior two, reaching the right arm over the right thigh, left arm reaches back behind you, palms down. All right, we're going to go a little bit deeper here. Inhale as you reach towards the front of the room. When you can't go any further, tick-tock the arms. You can bring your left arm up, floating towards the sky. Right arm can be down towards the ground, or forearm can be on the thigh, or you can bring a block underneath you if you'd like. Now let that left glute float back down towards the chair. So notice if it lifted up, bring the left glute down so you've got this rooted sensation. Now taking your left fingers, reach towards the front of the room, lengthening the whole left side. Now take a moment to notice if the left shoulder is rolled forward. See if you can roll it back so it's stacked on top of the right shoulder. And also, if you notice, if you've got a lot of weight here in the forearm or the thigh, see if you can just take some of that weight off by activating the obliques. Keep reaching for 3, 2, 1. Inhale back to warrior two. Exhale, reverse warrior. Flip the right palm up. Drop the left hand, reach for the chair if you'd like. And broaden, open across the right side lung. Little back bend here. Inhale, finding warrior two once again, and then reaching for wild thing. Left hand comes right there to the V in of the chair in between the thighs. Right palm flips up. Exhale, reverse. Inhale, floating back to a warrior two. And exhale, letting the hands float down as you heel toe both feet over to the left side. Take this flow on the other side. Same options for setup. This time the right thigh, right leg is floating towards the front of the chair. Left is to the left side. And then when you're ready, moving into a seated warrior two, left arm floats over the left leg, right arm floats back behind you, activating this transverse abdominis, lengthening through the obliques. Inhale, reach towards the wall in front of you. When you can't go any further, tick-tock the arms. Nice T shape with the body. And when you're ready, reaching the right arm towards the front of the room. Noticing if that right shoulder rolled forward. See if you can bring it back in alignment with the left one. Notice if there's a lot of weight there where you're touching the ground or the forearm, and keep reaching. Let the right hip float back down. Inhale, float back to warrior two. Exhale, flip the left palm and reverse. Inhale, warrior two once again. We'll take wild thing. Right hand floats right there to that V of the chair. Left palm flips up and reverse. Inhale, moving back to warrior two. Exhale, let your hands float down, heel, toe, both feet back together. And then we're going to make our way to stand up. We can stand up from a chair pose into a chair pose. And we can also use this chair to get us up too. So we're going to build some of the thigh muscle here. And so be mindful of the knees as well. This can be kind of intense on the knees. So if you need to use the support of the chair to stand up, please absolutely do. All right, hands can float to the sides of the body. Inhale as you lift the fingers up and draw the hands palms down out in front of you. Bring the shoulder blades back into their sockets. Straight spine, core pulled in. Inhale, reach forward. And when you can't go any further, where it feels like your bottom's going to pull off the chair, just lift it off. If you can't, use the chair. Allow yourself to be supported. It's there for you. You don't even have to get off the chair. You can stay in the chair if you'd like, just activating. Now from here, draw the shoulder blades back. Pull in this transverse abdominis so you'll see your tailbone. If it's sticking out in this curve, when you activate this transverse abdominis, it neutralizes that tailbone. Now take a look down. Can you see? Great, using a wall. Can you see your toes out in front of you? If you can't, shift your body weight into your heels. Give us a little bounce. 3, 2, 1. Rise up. Ooh. And exhale, let that float down. Finding your mountain here, just for a few moments, tuning in, letting your body feel the echoes of what you just did. And we'll activate into Samastihiti. So taking a look at your feet and bringing the feet hip width distance apart. That's going to be 2 of your fists bumped together in between your feet. And that's about proper hip width alignment for you. So the hip bones are stacked over the knee bones or stacked over the ankle bones. Toes are going to be straight forward. Nice number 11. And then arms float down to the sides, palms face forward. We're going to play with the toes a little bit. So start by lifting all 10 of the toes up on your feet and separating them as wide as they'll go. And then planting all of the toes back down onto the ground. Now we're going to root down through all of the baby toes and just lift the big toe. Little foot mobility, just the big toe. Can that big toe lift up? And all the little baby toes stay down. And then lower that big toe down, and then pressing all of the toes down except for the pinky toe. Can you pick up that little pinky toe off of the ground? Sometimes I can look, sometimes I can if I don't look at it. If I give it a side eye, maybe it will. Okay. Whew. And then rooting down through the one big toe on each foot, assuming that they're all there. Can you lift all of the little toes up? So a little bit of activation there in the foot. We don't often get to activate the feet or the ankles with this internal rotation, external rotation. And then landing, separating all the toes once again, landing them back down there on the ground. And then we'll move to Samastihiti. So finding your equal balance on all of your feet. So shifting forward, side, back to back until you feel balanced on all parts of your feet. And when you find that equal balance, finding stillness in your body, and then rooting down through the feet, imagining your growing roots and they're floating all the way down into the core of the earth. You might start to activate your arches, just a gentle pressure of the big toe into the ground. So you're not gripping the ground with your toes, but just providing a gentle pressure through the big toe to lift the arch. And then begin to engage the kneecaps, the thighs, hug the hips in, squeeze the glutes, pull in this transverse abdominis as you lengthen the spine, lengthening up towards the sky. Inhale as you lift the shoulders up towards the ears. Exhale as you squeeze that $1,000, let the shoulders float back down away from the ears, palms face the front of the room where your fingers are wide, imagining you're shooting light out your fingers or roots, and it's connecting there with the earth. So you're rooted down into the ground, reaching the top of your head, your spine lengthening towards the stars, being caught right here in the middle between earth and sky, connecting both earth and sky with your body, and then tuning in as your body is tight, your body is Samastihiti, to command attention in your life. This is the place where you have all of the strength to manifest your desires. This is the point of which it originates in your body. Commanding attention in your own life. And most of our asanas begin with this foundational posture. Tightening up just a little bit more. Continue the breath through the body. Slow inhales, longer exhales. Where can you fire up just a little bit more? Where can you activate your life in your body just a little more? Take one more breath in. And exhale, slowly soften the body without moving. Just release the shoulders down, release the belly, release the hips, the glutes, the knees, all the way down through the ground. Just soft, soft, soft. Moving back into a mountain pose. And let your breath return to a normal cadence. Allow the softness through your body, but still the sensation of commanding attention, of holding balance in your life. From here, we'll move to a fierce pose. Inhale as you lift the fingers up towards the sky. And exhale, bend your knees, stick your booty out, finding that chair pose once again. Pull in that transverse abdominis, shoulders fall down away from the ears. Inhale, lift. Exhale, sit. And rise. And lower. 2 more. What do you got? Lift, moving slowly, honoring the body. And rise. And last one, sit down in your chair. And lift. Exhale, hands to heart center. You're okay. All right, we're going to use our chair now. So stepping to the back of the chair and bringing, let's see. Yeah, let's do this so that the back of the chair is facing you. And you might need to move this chair forward on your mat. All right, so from here we're going to do stand up into our warrior series. We're going to take this first into a warrior 1. So stepping with your, let's see, I was mirroring, so I'm not going to mirror here. So left foot is going to be towards the front, and then step your right foot back about 2 of your feet so that your left heel, your right heel is going to be towards the ground, and the toes are going to point in the general direction of the right hand corner of your mat. So you might need to move that chair forward if you need to. And then bending your left knee so that the left knee is stacked directly over the left ankle, and you're feeling that stretch along the calf of your back leg. And then taking your hands, if you're stable in this position, one or both hands to the hips, and then square the hips to the front of the room. So you're not open, you're squaring the hips to the front, finding a warrior 1 rooted in. We'll take this a little bit deeper. So rooting down through your front foot, rooting down through your back foot, and imagine that you're ripping the mat underneath you apart. So activating your muscles, isometric engagement with the lower legs, lower half of your body. Inhale, lifting one or both hands up towards the sky. The chair's there for support. Shoulders float down. Just finding your balance here as you root in. Perhaps you take one finger to the back of the chair. Perhaps you feel comfortable in lifting the other hand, just taking it where it feels good for you. And then we'll open from here into a warrior 2, letting your hands come back to the chair. Spin this back foot open. Hip opens. You might even need to widen the stance here. Moving that chair forward onto the mat so that all of your legs can be here on the mat. And then bending into the left knee once again, you'll see that stacking of the knee and the ankle. And if you can't see the inside of your foot here, open that left knee just a little bit so you can see the inside of your left foot to the inside of your knee. And then when you're ready, reaching your arms in opposite directions, finding your warrior 2. Chair is there for support if needed. In your warrior 2, same kind of a thing where you're rooting down through your feet, pulling in this transverse abdominis. An extended side angle, reaching with all of your fingers towards the front of the room. Exhale and bending. Hand reaches for the chair, lifting the right arm up, finding that T shape, high-fiving the wall there in front of you. So high-fiving right there in front. And then notice if that right shoulder rolled forward. See if you can bring that right shoulder back and alignment right over the left. Inhale, rising back to a warrior two. Straighten the left knee. Triangle pose. Exhale, reverse. Inhale, moving back to a warrior two, recommitting to that bend in the front knee, taking both hands to the back of the chair and stepping the back foot to meet the front. How'd you do? Feel okay. All right, I'm just going to turn my chair around so that you can see me. We're going to take it to the other side this time. The right foot is going to stay in the front. And then when you're ready, stepping that left foot back about 2.5 of your feet prints for warrior one, bending into the right knee, stacking the right knee. Left toes are going to point in the general direction of the top corner edge of your mat. So you're going to feel this stretch along the back of your Achilles tendon, the calf on the left side. And then squaring your hips to the front of the room. So you're going to feel those thighs coming close together. The hips are squared. And then when you're ready, lifting one or both of your hands up towards the sky. Taking whatever feels right. The chair's always there for your support. And just focusing on something in front of you that's not moving as you imagine that you're rooting down through your feet and isometrically separating your legs, growing roots right there through the feet, building strength in your muscles. And inhaling, opening into a warrior two. Spinning that back heel down and open. Toes are going to be facing towards the side of your mat now. And you might need to readjust your stance, maybe a little wider, and then bending into that right knee once again. So rooting down through the back pinky edge of your left foot, rooting down through the foot on your right side, isometrically separating your legs. Strong foundation here. Pull in this transverse abdominis, that is the belly, between the belly button and the pubic bone. Arms reach. Rooting down. Extended side angle. Inhale, reach forward when you can't go any further. Tick-tock your arms. The chair is there. Left arm reaches up. Rolling that left shoulder back so it's stacked over the right like a letter T. Inhale, moving back, straightening the right leg. Triangle pose, reverse. Inhale, moving back to a warrior two, recommitting to that bend in the front leg. Cartwheel the hands to meet the back of the chair. Step the back foot to meet the front. Whew, how'd that feel? Felt good? All right. We're going to move into a pyramid pose, continuing the stretching in the legs. So taking your chair and just turning it around so that the seat of the chair is facing you. A little sip if you need. All right, in pyramid pose, we're just going to work with the right side first. So stepping kind of close to the back of the chair. It's maybe one of your feet away. And then we'll step back with your left foot. Right foot stays close to the chair. And in pyramid pose here, so we don't want it to be too far, maybe 1.5, maybe 2 of your feet behind you. And we also want the feet not to be one in front of the other because that's going to cause you to lose your balance. If there's anything on your mat that's right there underneath you, please move that off there. So you want the feet to be on 2 railroad tracks, so separated the feet there. Toes are going to be pointing generally towards the front of the mat. All right, bringing the hands to the waist, squaring the hips to the front. Now a couple of options here. shifting the body into the right foot so you feel more equal balanced on both of your feet. You'll feel the hips shift as well. So as you start to shift forward, you'll feel the hips come more level with the earth. And that's the way that you want your hips to be for this forward fold, is level. Couple of options here. We're going to hinge forward and place our hands on the chair. You can either leave your hands on your hips, or you can take a little more intensity and bring the arms up and interlace the last 3 fingers for steeple grip. So options up to you. More intensity for steeple grip, locking the biceps in by the ears. Inhale as you lengthen through the spine. Exhale, hinge forward, sticking your booty out as you straight spine, hinge forward, letting your hands connect there with the chair. So as your hands are there with the chair, then shift the body weight forward and back until you feel that your hips are square to the ground. We're going to take this a little bit deeper with your hands there on the back of the chair. A couple of options here. If you're in steeple grip, you might take your hands to the chair. You can tuck your chin towards your chest and reach the forehead towards that front knee. You can bend the front knee as much as you need to, as much as you'd like to. It doesn't matter if your forehead is touching. You're just creating that compression of the thyroid there at your neck and deepening into your pyramid pose, stretching along the hip flexors, the hamstrings, the calves, the ankles. If you've got your thyroid compression on your next inhale, lifting the forehead, lifting the chin away, straightening the arms once again. And options to come out of this posture, you can either bring the hands to the hips or find your steeple grip for more intensity, whatever feels the best for you. Inhale as you straight spine, float all the way up. And exhale, stepping the back foot to meet the front. How'd you do? All right. I'm just going to turn my chair around. We're going to take the other side. Left foot is going to be towards the chair. Right foot's going to step back. Same things, 2 railroad tracks, about maybe 2 of your feet back, and then squaring your hips to the front. Shifting the body forward until you feel the hips align. And then choosing your entry into this pose, either steeple grip or hands to the waist, whatever feels right to you. Inhale as you lengthen the obliques. Exhale, hinge forward, straight spine, hinging from the hips. And then reaching for the back of your chair, the seat of the chair. And finding that thyroid compression on this side, tucking the chin towards the chest and bringing the forehead a little closer. Releasing that thyroid compression as you inhale, lifting the forehead, straightening the arms, choosing your exit however you'd like to, hands to the waist or to steeple. Inhale, straight spine all the way up. And step the back foot to meet the front. Taking a deep breath. We'll move into a little balancing postures here. And so just take your chair, turn it around so that the tall side is facing you. The back of the chair is facing you. And then we'll turn so that your left hand is there at the back of the chair. We're going to root down in for a tree pose. All right, left hand at the chair, rooting down Samastihiti, mountain leg on the left side, little to no weight in the right foot, and spinning that right knee away from you, letting the toes connect on the right foot to the ground and the heel connect with the ankle on the right side. And bring one hand to heart center, and if you feel grounded here, you can bring the other hand to heart center. You can leave your hand there on the chair, whatever feels right. And if you'd like a little bit more challenge in your tree pose, perhaps you just lift the toes off of the mat or take the bottom of the foot to the inside of the calf. And if you feel balanced there and you'd like a little bit more, Perhaps you grow your branches, lifting the fingers towards the sky in any direction, just activating the challenge for yourself, taking it to your degree, your level. And just playing with the sensation, the experience of falling in and out of your tree pose, allowing yourself to move and flow with it, just like a tree does. Inhaling, hands back together. Exhaling, hands to heart center, spinning that right knee to the front side of your body before you step down. And then wiggle it out just a little. Dance it out. And then we'll take tree pose to the other side. So turning so that your right hand is at the back of the chair. I'm just moving my chair so you can see me. And then rooting down through that right leg. Samastihiti, coming up out of the hip. So strong right leg. When you're ready, inhale, floating the left knee open, heel connects with ankle, toes connect with ground. And one hand to heart center. Perhaps you find a different challenge here, lifting the toes or taking one foot to the inside of your calf. Just finding what feels the safest in your body. No judgment, no comparison. And when you're ready, growing your branches in any direction. Allowing yourself to flow with the breeze, to go with the flow. The gentle movement, the swaying, the falling in and out of your posture, the relief as you need it. Giving that grace, that opportunity, that love right back to yourself. You might even say to yourself, darling, sweetheart. Inhale, hands back together. Exhale, hands to heart center, bringing the left knee to the front before you step down. In the Shaolin tradition, they like to take their feet wide and bring the hands to the waist and take some hip circles, letting all of that go. They like to do this warm up before they go and sword fight. All right, one more opportunity to do a little balancing pose. The thing I like to do, one of my favorite things, is heel lifts. So finding the stillness in your body, and you can turn back so that you're facing the back of your chair. I like to take one block and just tuck it right in between the thighs, not on the knees and not tuck way up in there because that's not comfortable, but just right above the knees, the fleshy part of the thighs. And then toes point right towards the front of the room. So nice number 11 feet, hip width distance apart. So if you look down and you see that your knees are hanging out like this, that's not going to give you the stability in this posture. It's actually tweaking the knees in an uncomfortable and unsafe place. So bringing the feet once again back, 2 fists bumped in together is that proper bone alignment for you. And then squeezing that block there. So we'll begin by lifting all of the toes, separating them as wide as they go, planting them back down onto the ground. And then start squeezing into this block. Samastihiti, knees, thighs, hips hug together, pulling this transverse abdominis. Now imagine that the top of your head is connected to a star right up there, a string connected right to that highest star. And I see a lot of times the yogis, when they're lifting the heels, they lean forward like this. And that causes you to lose your balance. So imagining that starlight is attached to the roof and begin to slowly lift the heels straight up. So keeping the shoulders stacked over the hips as you lift the heels up. As high as is accessible, as high as is comfortable for you. It can even just be the thought of lifting. And then keep squeezing into that block. As you keep squeezing into the block, that gives you the stability in this pose. It keeps your ankles facing forward so they're not rolling out from underneath you. That's the squeeze here. As you lift, and you can lift and lower as much as you'd like to activate the ankles. Or you can lift and challenge your balance here. Maybe one finger to the back of the chair. Maybe one hand floats to heart center or the side. Maybe the other hand. Just taking it to what feels right. Continue to squeeze into that block. Finding your balance for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, as you float back down, taking that block, setting it off to the side. Taking a little movement that can be big for the body today. And then we're going to make our way back to our seat. So taking your chair, drawing it back towards the back of your mat. And I always like to heel toe one foot in front of the other, an added balance challenge, tightrope all the way back into your seat. And then we'll make our way back into the seat here, seated, sitting. Almost over, almost over. All right, lots of work here in the legs. So we're going to do a little bit of a wind removing pose. So finding that stacking sensation with the left leg, knee over ankle. You might even move a little bit towards the edge of the seat so you have some room with the thighs, a room with the back. And then reaching for the right leg, can draw that right leg up and in towards the torso. You can reach for the hamstring, you can reach for the shin, whatever feels the best in your body so you're not causing yourself pain here. And then in wind removing pose, we want this thigh to be just to the outside of the rib cage. So not all the way out here, but just so you have a compression and you're able to pull in a little bit of a compression here on the ascending colon. Compression allows all of that blood flow to stop flowing through the organs. And as we release this posture, it allows blood to flow through your internal organs, repairing, nourishing, removing wind. It's called wind removing pose for a reason. So if anything flies, you know, it's good. It's all good. And then we'll release this wind removing pose on this side, and we'll reach for the other side. Just taking it as much as you can. Little ankle turns might feel good on this side. Taking it to what feels good in your body, what's right, honoring yourself. And then releasing that leg down. We'll take seated down dog. Both feet can be out. You can take your feet right there onto the mat, or you can use the blocks to set your heels up on the blocks. Nice straight legs here. My legs are floating off the edge of the platform here. All right. Legs long, feet once again, they can be up on blocks if you'd like that elevated there, a little elevated, deeper bend in the legs. And then flexing the toes back towards your nose, flexing the feet, micro bend in the knees as much as you need to, hands float to the side. Inhale as you lift the hands up. We did a half seated down dog earlier. This one's a full one. So flipping the palms up if you can and hinging forward, straight spine until you feel like you're in the shape of a V. So it's not a forward fold, just this V shape where you're using your core muscles to hold yourself in this posture, inverted V, and pressing the hands towards the front of the room, pressing the feet, the heel out your heels, lengthening the spine, pressing in opposite directions with feet, tailbone, hands, and tailbone. And inhale, slowly coming up out of this posture, hands to heart center. Now we're going to take a little figure 4. If you can move into a figure 4, you can take your right ankle across your left thigh. Now, if that doesn't work in your body, you can always take your blocks up on your highest setting and just take your leg and place it onto that block, just to open up into the groin, the hip. So feeling what feels the best for you. And if you've got the posture that you would like to be in for this, just let this right side just soften down. So just being aware, letting the shoulders soften down away from the ears so you're not gripping or holding too tight. You're softening into the body, allowing kind of gravity to take this. And if that doesn't work even still, you can take it as a lower experience to lowering that block. So just take what feels right. We're opening up this hip, opening up the groin. Now, if you've got your figure 4 and you feel good here and you'd like a little bit more, you can lengthen through the spine and bend forward, straight spine, just taking your gaze over the shins so you start to feel that fire up on the right side glute, right side hip. So you're not hinging forward to cause yourself strain, but you're feeling that release in through the right side hip, the right side body, wherever you're at, just hinging forward a little. So you feel that release along the hips. And breathing slowly. And softening through the body, softening your expectation, softening the tendency to compare, softening physically the body, taking a slow breath in and exhale. And on your next inhale, slowly coming out of your figure 4 and switching sides, letting the right ankle foot float down. And then if it's okay in your body to take this left ankle across to the right thigh, you can find any variation that feels good. You can have those blocks there if you want. You can skip it all together. Just feel what feels the best in your body. Honor what's right for you. And then let this left side just open gently. So you're not forcing it open. You're just allowing gravity to do the work here. And just taking your body scan, notice if your shoulders are up by either ears. Can you soften the shoulders back down? Can you soften the jaw, the tongue? Can you soften this whole left side, the left thigh, the left knee? And if you'd like a little bit more, inhaling to lengthen the spine, exhaling, taking your eyes over the shins, hinging forward until you feel that start to fire up there on the left side. And then softening once again, softening through the jaw, the shoulders. And on your next inhale, floating out of your figure 4, releasing the legs, the foot back to the ground. And then we'll make our way towards Shavasana. If you'd like to have your feet up on blocks, take your feet to the blocks, or maybe a block again behind your back. And then just scoot back into your chair, finding any position in your Shavasana that feels good, even if you like to lay down on the ground. And then just setting back, setting and resting into your Shavasana, shoulders relax, heart, hands down onto the lap, belly relaxes. And if you feel safe and comfortable in closing the eyes down and letting your internal awareness become more present. And taking a slow breath in through the nose and out through the mouth as you soften in and soften back out. Shavasana. Returning to the awareness of your breath. Returning to the presence within your body, inviting tiny micro movements to the fingers, to the toes, maybe turning wrists or ankles, maybe head side to side. Perhaps taking a bigger breath and a good afternoon, good evening, good morning stretch, wherever you're at, reaching long in the body. And exhaling, hands down into heart center, bringing with you all of the transformation that you've brought into your life, knowing you've been changed by your practice here today. And with a little quote from the book, The Way Forward by Young Pueblo, we'll close our practice. Your relationship with change will define your life. If you reject change, you will struggle. If you accept it, it will inspire you to be more present and to live without holding back. And if it is in your practice and you feel called to draw your thumbs to your forehead, your third eye, we'll bow towards the divine light within each of us. Namaste. Muchas gracias, yogis. Thank you. Thank you for your practice. Thank you for being here.